Lunch Break Sports.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 6 of Lunch Break Sports. I'm your host, Joey Sherman, and I'm here again with co-host Reed Benos.
What's up, everybody?
And today we're going to be talking about what's happened in the NBA recently. As you know, we've kind of switched from the NFL podcast to the NBA podcast, and we're just going to go kind of over what's happening in the league right now. Just to read off the standings. In the Eastern Conference, first is the Pistons, followed by the Celtics, then the Knicks, Cavaliers, and Raptors. And in the Western Conference, the Thunder leads, followed by the Spurs, Rockets, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. Now, people say the Eastern Conference is pretty weak this year. Me personally, I believe that there are a lot of teams that people sleep on, like Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs. I think could all be great options, but I think what's more important is to obviously talk about the crazy NBA drama that's been going on. So we obviously have to talk about the Kevin Durant situation. Now, Kevin Durant has known to have had burner accounts on X, Twitter, where he would just talk trash about former teammates. And this was a thing a couple years back, right? Talking about his teammates in, Thunder or Golden State, like those different teams. But now we see that another burner account has been revealed. And he's even trash-talking his teammates now. Yeah, and we've seen this from Kevin Durant before. He seems a little bit undisciplined at times in regards to, his job, his position, his lifestyle. But we've never really seen such slander about his own teammates towards Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr. He talked well about Ben Simmons, but it was sort of a backhanded compliment. He said bad things about Devin Booker and the Suns organization. It's kind of difficult to root for a guy and like a guy when he has the moral conscience to just say these things to people online, burner or not. It's just pretty bad look for Kevin Durant in general. The most important thing, to me at least, out of these is the terrible All-Star weekend that we had. Now, me personally, I happen to enjoy the All-Star games with the three teams, the Stars, the Stripes, and the World, right? I thought that was fun. I also liked the three-point contest. I thought it was interesting that Damian Lillard isn't even playing this season yet one. I think it's a little suspicious. But what I really was not a fan of was the absolute abysmal dunk contest that occurred. I think it is without a doubt the worst dunk contest we've ever seen.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think anyone was expecting much from this dunk contest, considering no big names were competing this year. And I really enjoyed the 3-point contest. I was surprised to see Devin Booker shoot that well.
Yeah, in the past 3 years, 24, 23, 22, it was Mac McClung. Or it was Mac McClung for a while. And he just didn't participate this year. I feel like he was kind of being used by the NBA just for the dunk contest. He revealed what his dunks were later, but that's beside the point. The winner was Keshad Johnson with a super lame dunk. And there was this tweet from, I believe it was Damian Lillard, which really is going to spark the conversation here. He said that he was messaging Stephen Curry, asking him, hey, how about we, make the three-point contest amazing next year? We do me as in Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Devin Booker. And Steph was pretty on board. He said, I would do it if they're all in, it's going to be near Devin Booker, so that's great. That would be amazing for us as NBA fans. And what we're going to do today, me and Reed, is we're going to create a three-point contest and a dunk contest that would be our dream three-point and dunk contest. So the first four we have to start with are Book, Dame, Curry, and Klay. We'll go back and forth talking about who we would add to the three-point contest. Now, first, I would pick Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Karl Anthony Towns is a great shooter. He's interesting because he's a center, but he's still an amazing shooter. I think he's won it in the past. I think it'd be nice to see him play.
I actually have Landry Shamet as my 3-point shooter because he's just such an efficient shooter. And I feel like he's not really that known in the NBA, and I feel like this can make him a much more known player, considering he's really underrated.
I'm going to go with someone who maybe people know as a three-point shooter, but he's not a superstar caliber just yet. Former Nick Dante DiVincenzo. I think it'd be nice to see him in the three-point contest. He's efficient. He shoots high volume. It's exactly who you would want.
Oh, someone else I would take is Anthony Edwards. Yeah, he's just such a good overall player and shooter. And I feel like he's a really exciting player to watch, and a lot of people would be rooting for him if he played in it.
Yeah, very true. Next I would have Kyrie Irving. I mean, the injury, he's going to be coming off of it. He's still a superstar player, great shooter all time. I think it'd be great to see
I would
him in
have
it.
Luka in it. He's one of the best shooters in the league. He averages so many points, and he takes a lot of threes. And we've seen him hit a bunch of crazy threes.
For my last pick, I'm going to be taking James Harden. He is a great shooter. He's known for shooting high volume behind the arc, and I think it'd just be fun to see, 8 of these guys just
I
battle it
have
out.
Bronny James in my spot.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's probably not the most popular opinion, but I feel like he has a big fan base with all of LeBron's fans, and I feel like he'd just be fun to watch. He's not a bad three-point shooter. He's not necessarily great either, but I think it'd be very entertaining to watch Bronny James in an All-Star game.
Now, we're going to move into the more exciting part, I would say, the dunk contest. Now, the dunk contest has been a major issue in the NBA for years now. And I think if we had this lineup right here, it would completely revive it. First off, I have Ja Morant. I think that's consensus. Anyone who's doing this, I'm sure Reed agrees.
Yeah, definitely.
He's an incredible dunker. He dunked over Victor Wembanyama, who is like the tallest player in the league. He's an insane athlete, insane dunker, and he'd be great in the contest. Another one I think everyone agrees on, Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
Everyone's been wanting the contest for years. We want to see what he can put up. I would love to see that happen. Next, Anthony Edwards. I think another pick that people would want. He's an incredible dunker again, and I think, he would be a perfect fit for the contest. And on this last spot, people would probably go Mac McClung. I feel like the dunk contest should have more superstar caliber players, which is why I'm going Jalen Green. He's an incredible dunker. Reed, who do you have in your last spot?
I probably have Mac McClung.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah, or maybe even Zach LaVine.
That's a good pick.
He's a great dunker.
All right, thank you, Reed. And let's go to the next segment.
Top 10.
Okay, I am back for our next segment. I'm here with co-host Michael Kreyman.
Hello.
And we are going to be ranking our top 10 players in the NBA. Now, this is something that a lot of people, talk about, debate. Of course, there's the website online, I think it's called The Ranker, that constantly has a ranking of the top 10 players. But me and Michael are going to give our own personal opinions on the matter. Who do you have at number 10?
Number 10, I have Jaylen Brown. I mean, everybody was saying how he shouldn't have deserved the Finals MVP. Tatum carried them, but here we go. And Tatum actually here is out for the season, and Brown is leading the Celtics for the second seed without Tatum.
Yeah, I must say I'm incredibly impressed with the Celtics and their ability to, get around the fact that Jason Tatum tore his Achilles and are still able to be a top team. I think coming into this year, nobody expected this out of them. That's why they traded away a couple players. But in my 10, I have Tyrese Maxey, somebody who, as a Knicks fan, going against them, he can always just snipe you at the end. He can always make that game-winning shot. He's a huge volume scorer, and I think he deserves to be a top 10 player in the league.
Here's my thing. He gets injured a lot. Yeah, he makes the shot, but I think injury is just a major thing, and that's why I think he's outside my top 10, to be honest. But yeah, are we going 9 now?
Yep.
All right, at 9 I have Denny Avdia. This guy got traded from the Wizards. Nobody thought that he was gonna be this good, and yeah, he made it to the All-Star game. He's very good, talented, young, and yeah, I mean.
At my 9, I have Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant is coming off of his prime. He's not as good as he once was, but he's still, I think, a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah, of course.
He is a forward. He can do basically everything, to be honest. He's a great all-around player.
I have him as like my if you told me like one guy that's like you know gonna what's it called like score the ball, guaranteed score the ball, I would have KD in there.
Okay. Who do you
Top
have your 8?
3. Actually it is KD at 8. Yeah. I just think his longevity, even though he's not that good in the locker room and leadership, I just think like the key shots, he's like uh he's like one of the most clutch players in the league. But yeah, that's why I have at 8. Who do you have at 8?
At 8, I have Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I think he's a really talented player. He can do a lot of things. He can score at a really efficient level, and I think he's my 7th best player or 8th best player. And my 7, I have Cade Cunningham.
Wait, so let's go back a second. So with Donovan Mitchell, I kind of like I don't agree with that because as we saw last year, the Cavs were first seed and they got absolutely obliterated in the playoffs, even though they had such an insane uh winning record. And I don't know, to me, putting him in top 10 is just insane for a guy that, yeah, he led him through the regular season, but in the playoffs, he was very disappointing. Very disappointing.
At my 7, I have Cade Cunningham, and my 6, I have Brunson. Now, I would say the two are very similar players. There's debate as to which one you would rather have on your team. Me personally, I would rather have Jalen Brunson. A, because I'm a Knicks fan. B, because they played each other in the playoffs, and Jalen Brunson sealed it in, 5 games? I don't think you can take
I
Cade
would
over
argue
Brunson.
differently because that was last year, and Cade has much improved this year. He's like a top 5 in candidate votes for the MVP. And, Cade is actually number 1. If we go back in time, like last year at this time, the Pistons were the worst team in the East as we're talking. And people are saying sell the team and all that. And look at Cade. He's brought them to the first seed. They're an amazing team, and yeah. But I have Kawhi as my 7th. Even though the Clippers have been disappointing, as we saw, I know it's the All-Star game, but still, like, he's just like insane. He's been dropping like insane numbers, insane efficiency, and that's why I have at 7. At 6, I do have Cade. So that I think we have like the same. But at 5, I have Anthony Edwards.
So you're telling me you don't have Brunson in your top 10 at all?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I just think personally, it was either Anthony Edwards or Brunson. Even though you could say like Brunson is higher standings, Brunson is this. Edwards' athleticism is like I would much rather have him. Like if you look back at the game when they played OKC and he had that dagger 3-pointer, I mean, I know that Brunson's made that like before that shot, but I don't know. It's something about Anthony Edwards, about his athleticism that I just like more. And like I don't know, a team without I'm going a little bit off topic, but the team like the Knicks, right? If they don't have Brunson, their team is just not going to play well. As for the Timberwolves, if they don't have Ant, they will play like decent.
At my 5, I have Anthony Edwards. I think he is a great all-around player. This may come with a surprise to some people, but I actually don't have Victor Wembanyama in my top 10 because I feel like he hasn't really done enough. I know he's like savior and he's a great scorer, but I feel like the injury risk that's associated with him because of how tall he is and how he moves, I would not be able to, sit peacefully if I were associated with the Spurs. But I think when Ant-Man is great. He's always been great, and I think he's going to be a strong player in this league.
Who do you have at your 4 and 3?
At my 4, I have Giannis. Who do you have at your 4?
Luka.
Luka, okay.
I completely disagree. I mean, compared to your Wemby situation, the Spurs are sitting at the 2nd seed right now. As for Giannis, sitting all the way at the bottom of the East right now. So I don't really know, but I mean, I guess.
I mean, I personally think Giannis is one of the most dominant players I think we've ever seen.
I agree.
And it'd be hard for me to put him, anywhere else. But
I don't have Giannis on my list, actually.
you don't have him anywhere in your top 10.
No, because now in the NBA, like you need to like shoot the 3 ball. Like that's what makes teams elite. We saw the Celtics, we saw OKC. they weren't really driving the ball that much. They were so dominant because of how many threes they were shooting per game and making them.
We can put that up as a poll. Who's a bigger snub for your top 10 list, Wemby or Giannis?
Giannis.
So for my 3, I have Luka. I think he's a great scorer.
Yeah.
He's a great passer. There's a defense concern, but it's not really that much of a concern. I think he's going to be. I mean, he's a really great player right now, and I would want him on my team.
For my third, I actually have Wemby. So not only is he like leading the blocks in the NBA, he also like scored like 20 something points in the first quarter. So I don't know. I mean, from my standpoint, he has to be in the top 10. Even though, like Giannis, he's injury prone, but still, like, they're the second seed. They're gonna make the playoffs, and they're gonna be like one of the best teams in the West. They already are.
I think for our 1s and 2s, I think everybody consensus agrees that it's going to be Shea and Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I have Jokic at my 1 and Shea at my 2, just because he's averaging a triple-double. I mean, this guy is doing things we've never seen. He's incredibly dominant. He's amazing in fantasy. He's amazing in real life. He's MVP caliber player, and I think he's the best player in the NBA right now.
I disagree because coming off a Finals MVP championship, I mean, SGA just has it all. You can call him a foul baiter, but statistically, Michael Jordan shot more free throws than him. So like in like his season. So if you're calling him a foul baiter, then you might as well call MJ a foul baiter.
All right, well, thank you, Michael, and we'll put that poll up. Who's a bigger snub, Victor Wembanyama or Giannis Antetokounmpo? By the time this episode comes out, it should be up. All right, let's go to our next segment.
Let's play some NBA games.
All right, I'm here with my next guest, Caleb Lebeau.
What's up, everyone?
And today we're just going to have a little bit of fun and do some NBA games online. So first up we have build your lineup. And so you get $15 to spend on the players. And for each position, there's a $5, $4, $3, $2, $1 option. So let's pick our point guard first. So at $5, Tyrese Maxey, $4, Dyson Daniels, $3, Anthony Black, $2, Craig Porter, and $1 Cole Anthony. So who do we think we should pick?
I think that, honestly, Tyrese Maxey might be worth the $5 investment here because I'm looking at the shooting guards, and I think that $3 for Shaedon Sharpe is a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get ahead, but I think Tyrese Maxey is so far ahead of everybody else in the point guards. I think it'd be
I
a
agree.
smart decision
Yeah,
to
we'll take Tyrese Maxey
splurge
here.
a little bit. So as Caleb was alluding to, the shooting guards, we have $5 is Derek White, $4 Spencer Dinwiddie, $3 Shaedon Sharpe, $2 Luke Kennard, $1 Jordan Walsh. I agree. I think Shaedon Sharpe is a great option here, and yeah, I think we should take Shaedon
Yeah,
Sharpe. Any
I agree.
objections?
Mm-hmm.
And so for the next one, we have small forward, $5 Con Knipple, $4 Tuni Kamara, $3 Peyton Watson, $2 Brendan Mathurin, and $1. Who's that? Cody Williams? I don't even know.
Whatever.
C.
We're
Williams.
not taking him.
Okay,
either
we're
way.
not taking him. I would just like to say there's a little story. It's kind of a bad decision for me. I swapped a Con Knipple autographed signed picture for a Bronny James one before the season started.
Bad
Kind
idea.
of dumb.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I thought it was a good move at the time because Con wasn't even the number one option on his
Bronny
college
James
team.
is Bronny James, though.
Also, Bronny James' autograph will always have value, even if he leaves the
Right.
league. I mean, we expect him to leave the league immediately after Bron retires,
Right.
and it still has value, So, who do we take here, though?
I'm thinking Benedict Mathurin. Benedict Mathurin at the $2 slot
I think
seems like a really
that's a
good
good
steal.
decision. I mean, it would give us $5 for the remaining two players.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best decision. here.
Okay, we could take Mathurin, but we could always come back to it.
Right.
At the power forward, we have $5 Scotty Barnes, $4 Miles Bridges, $3 Parker Washington, $2 Dean Wade, and $1 T. Salaun. By the way these work is once we submit it, we see how high we rank in popularity and how high we rank in total fantasy points.
Okay.
So somebody who averages you want to get solid guys because you don't want someone who's been hurt all season,
Yep.
that could really affect it. And so I think personally I have Miles Bridges on my fantasy team. I think he's a decent pick here. I think the
But then we're
value.
stuck with Clint Capella for the.
Well, we have to go ahead. We can read off the centers because it's going to impact our decision.
go for it.
$5, Bam Adebayo. $4,
Derek Green.
Derek Queen. $3, Musa Diabate. $2, Mitchell Robinson. $1, Clint Capella. Now, has Clint Capella had that bad of a season? I feel like he's like
No.
okay. He's okay, and I think that Miles Bridges has had a pretty good season, like averaging like 38 points on my team. He did have like a 4-game suspension, but that doesn't really matter in fantasy
Yeah,
basketball.
I'm actually okay with that decision, to be honest.
I think that taking him
Miles Bridges
here
Clint
and then
Capella.
Clint Capella.
Nah, that-
So we have Maxey at point guard, Shaden Sharp at shooting guard, Benedict Mathurin at small forward, Miles Bridges at power forward, and Clint Capella at center. And let's see how we
Yep,
do.
Sounds good.
We were the number 2 popular lineup.
Okay.
That's really good. And in fantasy, we were number 5. Okay. And the top one was taking the Cody Williams guy and then Scotty Barnes instead of Miles Bridges.
I'm not a fan of Scotty Barnes, so I don't mind where we're at.
We have breaking news coming on my computer. It is announced that Jason Tatum will play this season and could make his debut on Friday against the Mavericks. Wow.
Big
That
news.
is crazy news. I mean, we didn't even plan this. We might have to, talk about this for just a second. I mean, this kind of changes a lot. The Celtics are the number 2 team. They were championship contenders for a couple of years now. Getting Tatum back, I mean, I would assume he's going to be on limited minutes, and it's not going to be as impactful as people think. But that's still, they could win the championship.
It's definitely
going
to take time for him to readjust to the play of the real league. But yeah, I think that they're already a very strong team. Jaylen Brown has really stepped into his role as shooting guard, and Derek White at point guard, obviously very strong player. Now that they have Vucevic and bringing Tatum back, it's going to be a scary team.
Now, I'm not sure if they would have made the trades that they did at the beginning of the season if they knew they were going to be this good. I think they were kind of trying to just keep it on the low key this season, trade away Drew Holiday and Porzingis, but now I think they're like back.
Yeah.
And I would just like to say, yeah, they're a really great team, but they did lose in the series against the Knicks. So I think they're not as powerful as it may seem, but they're still definitely a contender. It was a tough series.
Yep.
And let's go into our second game. We have the keep 4, cut 4 of the day. We don't know what players this could be. We could get LeBron and then 7 scrubs. We could get decent players and then get a stud as the last one. I have no clue what we're doing here. First player, we have Larry Bird. I think you have to keep him.
I mean, I've never played this before, so I don't know the range of how good or bad the players
I
could
mean,
be.
last time Asar Thompson was in it, Amen
All right,
Thompson was
so
in it, but it was
I
all
think-
current players.
Yeah, I'm
but
going to have to say we got to keep
we have
Larry
to keep
Bird.
him, just
Gotta
not
keep
knowing
Larry
who's
Bird.
next.
Yeah.
And so who we have next? Kyrie Irving. Okay.
That's really
So
tough.
it seems like we're going to go with all-time greats here. That's what I'm
Yeah.
sensing. But we don't want to, I've not really played this much, so what if they give us 7 studs and then Spencer Dinwiddie, we just
Yeah.
get stuck with keeping Spencer Dinwiddie. I think we can cut him.
I'm fine cutting Kyrie, honestly.
I think we should cut him. He hasn't really done much for his legacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we cut. Next player, Kevin Garnett.
I would cut him as well.
You would cut him.
He's a champion. He's
Isn't he a
great-
2-time MVP?
Yeah, he's a champion, great player all time. But I feel like we're given all-time greats here. So I feel like
But-
when you think all-time greats, you think top 10, top 25 players. Maybe Kevin Garnett's top 25, but I would not put him too far ahead. I wouldn't even think of him as better than Kyrie.
I'm just stuck because we haven't gotten a LeBron, a Kareem, anyone like that. I mean, we got Larry Bird, and he's definitely up there. But we have our sample is Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, Kyrie Irving, and you wouldn't have that in you wouldn't rank them as elite, all in a group. Obviously they're elite, but not greatest of all time.
What's
I
your-
could go either way here. If
I
you
would
think we
say
should cut him,
I would say cut.
all right, we're gonna cut Kevin Garnett and hope for the best. We get Antoine
Oh, no.
Walker.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is
Antoine
not good.
Walker, he's an okay player.
He-
But
he-
he's
we're-
definitely a cut. compared to
Definitely
everyone
cut.
else.
I'm
Yeah.
getting scared. We should have kept Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Next,
Might have been a bad choice.
Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
Right.
that's not very good. We were expecting greats.
Yeah,
Peyton Pritchard.
not
This
a-
is
not
this is
good at
not
all.
looking good.
But we
I
gotta
think
cut him.
we have to cut him, and we're gonna have 3 keeps in a
We gotta
row.
just suck it up. take
And
whatever we can get.
yeah, let's see.
do it. What do we got?
Tiny Archibald.
Yeah, that's not great. but,
Okay, so we're
no,
gonna
he's better
have
than Peyton
we're
Pritchard.
keeping Tiny. We're
Yep.
keeping Tiny. Who else do we have? Ray Allen.
Ray Allen's
okay,
a good
okay, okay.
I mean, he's not better than Kyrie or Kevin
or
Garnett,
KD.
but,
We'll
yeah,
take it at this point.
I was expecting
And
that.
Derek White. All right, so
We got a lot of
Oh,
Celtics here.
got,
Wait,
like-
is this all? Yeah, this is
Oh,
all
this is all
Celtics. Players.
Celtics.
I guess that's the theme of today.
Okay, so that didn't really register for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, no,
That would have helped a lot, actually. That would have helped
Yeah,
a lot.
definitely. In terms of all-time Celtics, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
obviously Kevin Garnett's
obviously,
gonna be an all-time great.
Kyrie and KG are
Kyrie,
gonna
yeah.
be up there, and Real will be the fourth. But okay, we kept Tiny Archibald and cut KG and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's giving
Our
us a
is not
score.
gonna be good.
87, 88 out of 100.
That's
We did not
surprising.
deserve
Yeah.
that at all.
Definitely not.
You want to play one more game?
Let's run the keep 4 cut 4 back.
I'm
Or
not
is
sure.
it like a daily
Is it-
thing? Oh, you can.
Is it Let's see.
Let's run a start bench cut.
Okay, let's see. Start bench cut.
All right.
Okay, I mean this isn't really much of a mystery game, but we have Ace Bailey, Con Knippel, and VJ Edgecombe.
I mean, I think the obvious starts Con Knippel, bench VJ Edgecombe, and cut 8.
I mean,
I feel
yeah.
like there's no better answer to that.
We have to do one more game. That was kind of quick, but 82% of people agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Let's find one more. All right, guys, we found one more that we like. This is blind 2. So we're going to blindly rank pairs of players from best to worst without knowing who's coming next. By the way, just to plug it, this is on a website called HoopGoat, and the $15 Build Your Lineup was on this Dynasty Daddy website. Both, I mean, I play the games all the time, so this is fun to play on the pod. Maybe we could run this back sometime, but we have Shaq and Kobe first. Is that just automatic number 1 spot?
I mean, the only better is Jordan and Pippen.
I mean, yeah, but it was more
Shaq
the
and
Bulls.
yeah.
It was more the Bulls as a whole. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like Pippen was.
Yeah, we'll put
such an all-time great. I think
Kobe
Shaq
and
and Kobe
Shaq
might be
in
the
one.
greatest two
Yeah,
of all
I don't
time,
think-
so we're gonna put them in the 1. Garnett and Allen. Okay,
That's tough. I
that's
think
tough.
it could be 3 or 4, 4. I would have to say 4, but
I think 4 is fair.
yeah.
Yeah, we could put them in the 4. Harden and Mitchell. So we have James Harden and
It's a
Donovan
really
Mitchell.
recent duo.
Recent duo. You have to respect the star power, but
Right.
this isn't going above Garnett and Allen. This might be our
Definitely not.
6.
It could be
But
6 or-
considering, I mean, I guess if it's Celtics players, it wasn't that much of a fake out. But considering what I had before, I'm really hesitant to put 2 good players at the 6.
very good players.
Do we want to
they've
put them?
been pretty successful together so far. I would say that I think we put them at the 5. I'm not gonna lie.
You think we put them at the 5? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it's good to leave space, so maybe 6.
I think 5 makes
5?
more
All
sense.
right, let's do it.
We don't want to trap ourselves like before.
5.
Bam
And that's
Adebayo
it.
and Tyler
That's it.
Hero.
Yep,
Okay,
that's gotta be
perfect.
6.
So that is good. Oh no, we
So
have
are left
we-
with the
we
2 and
have
3.
we are left with 2 and 3. We have Bam Adebayo. We just did not learn our lesson
No,
whatsoever.
apparently not.
Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady.
That's
Okay.
not terrible.
Okay,
That-
it's
I
not-
feel like
that's
that's a 3. That's
That's
it's 3 or 2. 3 or 2 is tough.
oh no.
They're probably worse than Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen already.
Mm.
But
It's you can make a debate that they're better though. It's relatively it's a little close.
Yeah.
So want to put them at 3, and just hope that we don't get
I would
like
put 'em at I would honestly put him at 2 because we're gonna get something bad. I can feel it.
I don't know though. I mean, is there any pattern? Can we figure out a pattern?
There's no
Pattern at all. Maybe these are like. Were these teams all teams that Shaq played for? Wait.
Yeah,
Celtics.
Celtics.
Wait.
Shaq
what?
didn't play for the Rockets. He didn't play for the Rockets.
And Ming and McGrady were both on the Rockets together.
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I tried to find a pattern. We want to go 3 or 2. I think 3 at least gives us the chance to have a somewhat.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, here
Put
we
it 3.
go.
Put it at
3 and Brunson and Towns.
No,
I think this is an
I hate it.
absolutely perfect list.
I hate
Jalen
it.
Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, the second greatest duo ever to play basketball. Our score is
Yeah,
78 out
that's
of
not
100.
great.
How do we get a lower score on this? I'm not really sure.
Nope. I don't
uh,
think it's a terrible list, but definitely probably Brunson and Towns should have been at the 4 or 5.
I think you could make the argument that Brunson and Towns. I mean, what did Ming and McGrady do? Did they win a ring?
No.
If they didn't, I think you could make the argument that Brunson and Towns are there. Like,
Okay, well, listen.
what's the only issue is having Garnett and Allen at 4.
Yeah, the 1 and the 6 are perfect though.
Yeah, for sure. I like the 5. I think the 4-3-2 range is where we made our issues.
That could
but
be the swaps, but it's not terrible. at all.
yeah. All right. Thank you, Caleb, for being on the segment. I
problem.
hope that was fun. You know,
I'll be back.
you will be back.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's another breaking news. Caleb will be returning to an episode in the future.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to our next
Thank
segment.
you guys.
March Madness.
All right, I'm here for my next segment with Seth Perlstein.
Nice to be back.
So for this segment, we are going to be, March Madness. It's around the corner. I mean, it is March.
It's not that
and
far away.
It's not that far away, and it's one of the biggest events in all of sports. 64 teams, technically 68. They
Yes.
battle it out. One team is the champion. We've seen crazy Cinderella stories like Jack Golke and Doug Eater. We've seen dominant teams lose in the first round. We've seen dominant teams go through the whole tournament and win it all, and it's just you really don't know who's going to win, but we're going to try and predict our top 5 teams here. Seth is our expert today, so I'm going to be adding information when I can, but he knows a lot more about this than I do. Me personally, I'm a huge Michigan basketball fan. I think we have
They have a good chance.
I think we have a really, really solid chance. I mean, we have Adai Mara, we have Elliot Cadeau, who played not that
Played
great.
for UNC.
Yeah, he did play for UNC. He wasn't great in one of the previous games, but he's still a great player. And of course, we have Yaxel Lendeborg. Yeah, he's a monster. But
he went to I forget where he went now. Went
Yeah.
to UA.
yeah, I think he went to UAF maybe.
No, I don't think it's that. I forget where. But
Okay, so
they have a dragon as their logo. If someone could,
yeah,
if someone could respond on what college that is.
yeah.
I know it's not Drexel, but
Someone put in the
some
comments down below
comments
which
down below.
college Yaxel Lendeborg used to go to. But yeah. So who do you have
Alright,
fifth most likely?
So fifth most well, let's start with the obvious ones. How about we start with the obvious ones and then we'll get
work your way down from 1 to 5.
yeah. I
Okay,
think
who do you
that.
have at the number one?
Number one, I'll go Duke. I think that Cameron Boozer and Caden Boozer have won wherever they went. You look at their high school resumes; they won Pete's Jam 3 times. The high school, basically like the high school basketball championships. They won it 3 times. So I think that Cam Boozer and that team are just they're really good, and I feel confident enough in their backcourt and just in the backcourt and the front court along with Cameron Boozer. I see it hard to believe that they have like they'll make a far run, but I think they make a far run, no doubt. But I think if you're talking to me about my 5 best, I'll go Duke with what we're seeing right now.
Okay, and I just want to add, everyone loves to talk about Cameron Boozer. He's definitely a superstar player. He's incredibly dominant, but we also have to remember he has a brother who's also a very
Kidded.
Yeah, he's a very high quality player. I saw him playing against
Yeah.
Michigan. Fortunately, we lost that game. That's the game where Cadeau didn't play very well, but I know this team is great, but I also don't think that there's some incredibly dominant team that's bound to win the tournament.
No, of course not. But I do really like their team. People forget about Patrick Ngongba, who honestly is better than last year's Kamal Malawach. Though they don't really have that Con Knipple they had last year, but I do
Yeah.
think this team is still so good. Okay.
I mean, March Madness, it's anyone's game. I mean, they had
Exactly.
Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg, who are like the 2 best rookies right now, right? At the same time.
Yeah,
And then even make it to the finals.
Yeah, they didn't win. I mean, that I remember where I was. That game against Houston.
That was crazy.
Houston, that was insane. I remember I woke up and it was like, wait, they lost? So confused.
I remember I was hanging out with one of my friends who liked Duke, Gavi Aviv, and we were at it's a shout out right there, and we were at an event. It was like a multiple days, like we slept there, and I was just like sitting in my bunk bed, just like watching this game and watching just like Duke lose it. It was just crazy. But who do you have at your number 2?
Number 2. I think I'm gonna shout out your team. I think Michigan is the second best team. I think Lendeborg has been amazing all season. I mean, I'm a Wisconsin basketball fan. So that Wisconsin game against Michigan was so amazing. Literally made like our chances from going to March Madness from like 0 to basically definite. So I do like this team. My problem with Michigan is that I'm nervous they don't have guard depth. They have Cadeau, and they have another guy. I think you're saying it, but my problem with them is that I think they have big. I think they're big. Like their forwards and center are very good. I think having a good guards is very important in March Madness, along with having a good defense. And I think that's sort of their weakness right now.
And as somewhat of a Michigan, I wouldn't say expert on, but I'm a big fan. It's important to note LJ Kaysen with his season-ending injury.
Kaysen, yes,
He
that's what I
was really good. my household, we really were rooting for him, and it's tough to see, his season over.
Oh,
Also, it's important to add we have the freshman guard McKinney. He's had really great flashes. Um, and I think we just have a lot of depth. I mean, power forward Merez Johnson. I think we just have a lot of good players. What troubles me is Adai Mara and his foul trouble. I always get
nervous.
scared. I always get scared he's gonna foul out, and it's always justified because he always fouls out, and it's tough because he's all of our size. But we also have Namari Burnett, who's also good.
You have a lot. You have a lot of size.
We've
I think you have.
Roddy Gale is good.
I
We have a
think you-
lot of good players, but
I don't think your size is your problem. To me, I think it's the guard. If you have better guard depth, I would be way more confident.
it's not really a size issue. It's a center issue because then we put Merez at the center, and then that's just
A little bit
even though all of our players are big, it's still considered a small lineup considering we have a
small
7'3"
ball.
7'3" guy on the bench.
Okay.
And I think when we have Mara in, we're a really, really good team. I think we're the number 1 team, but without him in, I see us at more like 2 or 3 range. So who do you have at your 3?
Number 3, I have Arizona. I think that Koa Peak game against Florida in the beginning of the season where he took 40, I don't think he can do that anymore. I mean, I love him, but he's been a bit injured, a bit banged up, but he's coming back now, and it's hard to believe that they're like just not gonna do well in the tournament. I love him. I love Jaden Bradley. Their guard, their other guard. Him and Braden Burries. Braden Burries is a freshman actually. All 3 of them are so good. They just work so well together. And Brady's has really been able just to like rebound after like the awful start he had in the beginning of the season. He's like all 3 of them can really just score the ball in all different ways. And I think just Jaden Bradley's just like clutch. I think all 3 of them really make a good team. And they have a lot of other like side pieces who can play defense, some of them can shoot 3. I think them as a team are very dangerous. Just like whatever they're going into. I really like that team.
And what I also like about this team is the fact that if you look at a mock draft, you're not going to see any of these guys in the top 5. They don't really have a bona fide superstar. I mean, I'm looking at a mock draft right now, and I'm scrolling, and I don't really see any of the guys popping up. I just kind of like how they, work
They work together.
together. Yeah,
They're good. They're good. They're one of those good college teams.
They have
like, that's always,
they're
they're always
really
a
good
good-
chemistry, good organization, good coaching, and I think, they're year by year they're a solid pick for the
like,
championship.
A good thing to learn about when you're picking your bracket is to always pick with good coaches like Izzo, Calipari, and Bill himself are all 3 really good coaches. And I think whenever you're picking a bracket, you want to pick with the good coaches because they can really carry a team along with the players that they bring in.
And we've also seen, Coach K in the past dominate the college basketball scene, and that's really difficult to do considering, you can't in the big
Especially
leagues in the NBA you can just have the same superstar for 5-10 years. In college you have him for
One
maximum 4 years,
max
but
4.
minimum 1 or 2.
One. You can
One.
The best players are only staying for 1.
Exactly. You had to keep interchanging your pieces every year.
Yeah, and the
And
best coaches.
That's why coaching is so important because in the league you can just have one superstar carry you, but you can't have that. You need a superstar every year, which requires a good organization, which requires good recruiting, which really requires good coaching to even get you to that spot.
So going to number 4, I think Florida. So the argument against Florida. Fun fact about that. One team, I'm pretty sure one team since 2000 won the Natty, won the national won March Madness, while not being in the top 12 in the week 6 AP top 25. Which team was it? And the trivia question.
I did not expect Seth to give me trivia. This is on the fly. I'm gonna go with maybe Villanova. No.
Syracuse.
Oh,
The Carmelo Anthony Syracuse.
that makes sense.
So
A little bit of
Florida-
trivia for the
Florida
fans.
was not in that top 12. The top 12, I'm pretty sure, included the 3 ones we talked about: Iowa State, Houston, Louisville, Michigan State. I don't think Nebraska. With Alabama, BYU. There were a lot of good teams. Problem is, a lot of those teams have sort of started off. I mean, I still love AJ DeBanza, Mikel Brown. They'll both be top 6 picks. But I do
I think
think
AJ DeBanza is going to go 1, but
AJ DeBanza is probably going to go 1. I mean, Darren Peterson, I think they about it late. But I do think those guys are good. But the thing with Florida is they start really slow. Like I was talking about how they lost to Arizona in their opener. Their run that they've been on in SEC play recently has been amazing. They beat Arkansas with Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas by like 30, or like around 30, maybe less. But they wrecked that, and I feel like, and they've already locked up the SEC as a top seed in their tournament. And I think they've been so good lately that they could go back to back. Their guards Xavier Lee and Buggy Fland are so good, and then you have then you have Howe, you have Condon, you have Chinyalu, all like they have 7-8 guys that are just amazing college players, and I'm so excited to see. And I think they're better than UConn right now. I think they could. I think they're definitely like possible. If they win and UConn doesn't win their conference tournament, Florida will get that 4th 1 seed. But they've been so good right now. It's just insane.
And I want to go back to what you said before about the statistics. In my personal opinion, being a Jets fan, I know you are too.
Yeah.
It's rough to see those statistics that the Jets are the first team without catching interceptions since like the dinosaurs. The Jets are the only team to not make the playoffs for like 16 years. But I do think, I mean, while those are relatively like fair stats and like patterns, I think that once you get into the more niche stuff like week 6 like AP rankings, like while that I guess is somewhat important, you can't really look too much into it because I guarantee you like, no one's talking about the week 7 or the week 8,
Yeah.
it's just to make the Instagram post. But I do see what you're saying.
It's an interesting statistic to look at, but Florida could change that.
Oh, it's definitely interesting, but I just don't think it's super concrete. And finally, who do you have at your
Number
5?
5. I've been thinking about this. I think there is a drop off after this 4, but honestly, a healthy UNC, a really healthy UNC, when Caleb Wilson comes, they're my 5.
Yeah, I
The
mean
reason they're my
UNC
5
has a lot of talent.
The reason they're my 5 is because you look at the game against, they're at home. They weren't leading for the whole game, and they won. They won a lasting shot, and that to me was one of the more impressive wins of the season. They're playing this weekend. Caleb Wilson's healthy. I still think Duke will win that just because Duke's at home. They want to get back, but I do think that if you're looking at top 5 best teams right now, it's hard to pick against the team that was able to beat my number 1.
Yeah, I mean March Madness again. It's a crazy tournament. Anything can happen, but also you don't win March Madness based on your record. You win March Madness based on the single elimination games, and you can win every game in the regular season. If you lose one game in March Madness, doesn't matter if all of your best players foul out or if you were supposed to win or if you blame it on the refs. Doesn't matter. You still lose and you're out. And to see the quality of being able to beat teams that are better than you is almost more important than being the better team in March Madness, in my opinion. I mean, if you can beat all of the best teams, then you're essentially the best. You're essentially the best team.
They also have really good depth, like that team, like Tremble, Vasar. They've got really. They're also a deep. Like having depth, having good defense, and having good guards. I think are the 3 most important parts of having a good March Madness team, and they have good parts of all that.
All right, so that's our top 5 in March Madness. I think, this is technically an NBA podcast, but I think it's important to also look at March Madness, because it's more of a basketball podcast, and that's a huge basketball event. Happens every year. So I think we can have Seth on a few more times across the year to talk about what happens in each game and how the tournament plays out. Thank you, Seth.
Thanks, Joey.
And let's go to our next segment.
It's time for an expansion draft.
All right, I'm here for my last segment with Fred Nadel.
Hi.
And there have been some rumors and speculations about a possible expansion in the NBA, which would come with an expansion draft. And the way that works is each team gets to keep 8 players, and the expansion teams, the new teams, get to pick one player from each team that hasn't been kept. So you get to keep 8, and then the new teams get to steal one of your players you didn't keep. So me and Fred, I am a Knicks fan. Fred is a Nets fan, and so we're going to go through, if we were the Knicks and Nets, which 8 players would we keep? Now, I'm going to start this off with the obvious one, Jalen Brunson. There's no way we're letting him go. He's our superstar player. There's no world where we let him go. That's all I'm going to say. He's too good of a clutch player, too good of a scorer, too good of a leader. So that's who I'm going with.
I think we'd have to keep Michael Porter Jr. and Nick Claxton because they have the most trade value. And I also think a lot of the young players we should probably keep.
Yeah, I mean, the Nets have a pretty young roster, so you're probably going to want to keep a bunch of the rookies, I'm going to go next with some of the players we've traded for. I would want to keep OG Anunoby. I would want to keep Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, and I would also want to keep Jose Alvarado. We've given up assets for those players. I think they really contribute to the team, and I think they should 100% be kept. Who are some of the younger players you would keep if you were the Nets?
We had 5 first-round picks last year, and we used all 5 of them, and I think we should probably keep all 5 of them.
So who are those players?
So, Yegor Damon, Nolan Traore, Drake Powell, Ben Serif, and Danny Wolf. I think those are the most important players to keep. We need young talent because we're not a very good team.
Yeah, I mean, the Nets are kind of in a tough situation right now. I mean, they just kind of suck really bad.
Except for they have a lot of first-round picks.
They have a lot of picks, yeah. So I've kept Brunson, Cat, OG, Mikal, and Jose Alvarado. Next keep I'm going to do is Josh Hart. He brings way too much energy to this team for me to even think about letting him go. He's a starter for us. He's a great player. I think it's obvious that we keep him. So you mentioned Claxton and MPJ, then the 5 rookies. Who's the last person you're keeping?
I don't know. There's not really much option. Maybe Day'Ron Sharpe is probably the one with the most value.
He's decent. So to fill out my list, I would have to put Deuce McBride just because of what he adds to this team, the scoring when it comes in the clutch, and Mitchell Robinson just for the great offensive rebounding. And now the Nets don't really come into this issue when we talk about this, but the Knicks kind of do the issue of maybe we're too deep and we're giving up a good player, right? I mean, with my list, there's huge flaws. I mean, Landry Shamit's available. I know he's a free agent, but he's available. You could take Jordan Clarkson. You could take Tyler Kolek, who's looking really talented. You could take, here's the big one. You could take Mohamed Diawara. You could take Diawara, and that's a good pick. But I think that you have to keep these 8 players. They add too much to the team, and it hurts to say it, but I think that's who I would keep.
In the past, they haven't really ran much more than an 8-man rotation in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, under Thibodeau, it was a really small rotation. I mean, I was with my friends. I was trying to remember different Knicks players from last year, and I really couldn't remember any. But this year, you know all the guys. You know Kevin McCullough. You know, Kolek, Clarkson, Hart, Alvarado, OG. I mean, you just know all of the guys, and that hasn't really happened before with this team. It's always a smaller rotation, but I think we're going to expand the rotation this year, and I'm really excited to see what we can do. Like these other teams, like the Celtics that one year and the Thunder, these teams are super deep. I think we need to match that if we want to be a contender.
Yeah, and the East is also wide open.
Very much so. All right, thank you so much, Fred, and that's going to be the episode.